Welcome back to the Center for Off-Road Research and Shenanigans. And there's been a lot of talk lately about short wheelbase, long wheelbase, and I'm not going to tell you which one's better. I'm just going to do a couple of demonstrations and you can make up your mind. So I'm probably not going to talk a lot in this video because I don't want to sway you, but I just want to give you some information and real things you can look at, things to consider. And this is a stock C10 wheelbase. This one started off as a C10. Actually, it started off as a deadbolt, and I put C10 front links on it. So it's quite a bit longer when you view it from the top. It's got a few other differences, but they're basically the same type of build. I got the same high clearance links on them, and if anything, the long wheelbase car you would think would have an advantage, and I'll show you what I've got going on in here. It's got a Fury Tech with a surpass motor. It looks like I need to do a little soldering before I begin this. I'll fix that. And a little extra weight up front on the servo along with brass. This one also has similar brass, and the main difference with this one is its stock motor. So it's basically still a C10, it just has a different body on it. But this one is 4-wheel steer, and this is my long wheelbase one that we'll be using the test today. I have the battery up front and the ESC on the back, so in theory this has a lot better weight distribution with all the weight up front. Alright, the first thing we're going to look at is just an easy trip over this. Alright, pretty straightforward, just have to go over the top. And this is the one with the Fury Tech and the 1400 kV. Already seeing a problem. That long wheelbase is allowing the frame to bottom out and hang up. As you can see, it did make the challenge. It completed it okay. This is my short wheelbase C10 stock motor, stock length on everything. Oh, it did it just fine. No hang-ups, nothing. The wheels are close enough together that the peak can't protrude up into the frame. Alright, I'm going to do one more run. It's pretty late, so I should be in bed, but I'm not. Just having a little fun here. This is a run you haven't seen me do much yet, and that's because it's very difficult. This is a very slippery rock, doesn't have a lot of bite. This one's jagged and hangs up axles, and then these become very steep. And this one's slick, very slick and rounded. And I'm going to drive up that with both of them, or at least try. And I'm going to start with the stock one, stock wheelbase first. That's the first hard part, is getting it up on the step. And from here, it's keeping it from flipping over backwards. So it will want to do that. As you can see, it took a little bit of doing, but it's able to be done with the short wheelbase car. Alright, now for the long wheelbase. Bit harder with this one because the lengths of the wheelbase are hitting the dome of two things at the same time as having to climb up the same surface. That's more of a function of the rock itself than what the chassis can do. The shorter wheelbase has one wheel on the step and one on the next hill. This one has it both on the hills and no step to really pull from. See if the rear steer can help it. It actually did. Now we're on the first step. And what you have just seen is literally the first time I have ever got my long wheelbase car to go up that hill. It just won't do it until now, and I'm glad it did, but I'm surprised it did. Point is, long wheelbase, short wheelbase, doesn't matter much. The only real benefit is the shorter wheelbase gives you a little bit more frame clearance when you're going over peaks, and in theory a long wheelbase car will give you a little more climb angle, but again, that's based on your car weight and tire size and how you have your shock set up. But many things can affect climb angle, so I know this from doing the 73-degree incline challenge. But really the only difference between long wheelbase and short wheelbase for two well set up cars is just how soon the frame is going to hit a peak as it goes over a ridge. That's about it. And turn radius, you know, you're going to have a little bit sharper turn radius with the shorter wheelbase unless you have four-wheel steering. And that's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Didn't really solve any great questions, but just a demonstration. Hope y'all have a good night. Talk to you later.